Welcome to Horror Midnight Thrills. Thank you for stopping by to watch our spine-chilling, heart-pounding, scary videos. Your support means the world to us. If you love thrilling tales and terrifying mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Laura Parker was a spirited young woman who worked the night shift at a call center in a desolate part of town. The building, an aging structure with flickering fluorescent lights and perpetually broken elevators, had an unsettling aura. Most days she brushed off her colleagues' spooky stories about the place, attributing their paranoia to fatigue and boredom. However, what she experienced one fateful night would forever change her perception of reality. It was a cold winter night, and the wind howled through the cracked windows, sending eerie whispers through the empty halls. Laura settled into her cubicle, headset on and ready to assist the few insomniac customers who called in during the graveyard shift. She wrapped herself in her favorite knitted shawl, trying to keep warm in the drafty office. The first few hours passed uneventfully, with just a handful of calls from disgruntled customers. As the clock struck midnight, the calls became fewer and further between. Laura glanced around the dimly lit office and noticed that her colleagues had disappeared, presumably taking their breaks. She was alone, and the silence weighed heavily on her. Suddenly her phone rang. She jumped, startled by the unexpected sound. Laura composed herself and answered, "Thank you for calling Customer Solutions. How can I assist you tonight?" "Help me," a feeble, quivering voice on the other end of the line pleaded. Laura's heart raced. "What's wrong? Are you in danger? Please, you have to help me." "They're coming for me," the voice whispered, trembling with fear. "Who's coming for you? Where are you?" Laura asked, her voice steady despite the chill creeping down her spine. The line went dead. Laura stared at her screen, hoping the caller ID might give her a clue, but it simply read unknown. She took a deep breath, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling that had settled in her chest. Moments later, her phone rang again. She answered hesitantly, "Customer Solutions, this is Laura. How can I help you?" "Laura," the same voice rasped, "I'm trapped. They're all around me. Please find me before it's too late." Laura's pulse quickened. "Where are you? I need to know where you are so I can send help." The voice grew fainter. "I'm in the basement. The old records room. Please hurry." The line went dead once more. Laura's mind raced. The call center did have an old records room in the basement, but it had been abandoned for years. No one ever went down there, and the entrance was locked. Driven by a mix of fear and determination, Laura grabbed her flashlight and made her way to the basement. The building seemed to grow colder with each step, and the shadows danced menacingly on the walls. She reached the heavy metal door leading to the records room and found it slightly ajar, the padlock hanging loosely from the latch. With a deep breath, she pushed the door open and shone her flashlight into the dark abyss. The room was filled with dusty shelves and cobwebs, and the air was thick with the stench of mildew. Laura called out, "Hello? Is anyone here?" Silence. She took a cautious step inside, her flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. As she ventured further, she noticed strange symbols etched into the walls, their meanings lost to time. A sense of dread washed over her, but she pressed on, determined to find the source of the distressing calls. Laura's flashlight flickered, and she tapped it in frustration. The light stabilized, illuminating a figure slumped in the corner of the room. She approached cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure was a young woman, her face pale and gaunt, eyes wide with terror. "Are you the one who called?" Laura asked, her voice trembling. The woman nodded weakly. They're coming. You have to leave. Save yourself." Laura's flashlight flickered again and the air grew colder. She felt a presence, a malevolent force closing in on them. The woman clutched Laura's arm, her grip surprisingly strong. "Run before it's too late." The room plunged into darkness as the flashlight went out completely. Laura heard whispers, disembodied voices chanting in a language she couldn't understand. The temperature dropped further, and she could see her breath in the air. Panic set in and Laura fumbled for her phone to use its flashlight. As the screen lit up, she caught a glimpse of shadowy figures surrounding them, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. Laura grabbed the woman's hand and pulled her to her feet. "We have to go now." They stumbled towards the door, the shadows closing in around them. Laura's heart raced as they reached the exit and slammed the door shut behind them. They bolted up the stairs, the sound of their pursuers' footsteps echoing in the narrow stairwell. As they reached the ground floor, Laura glanced back and saw the shadows retreating, unable to cross the threshold. She let out a sigh of relief, but her relief was short-lived. The woman collapsed, her strength drained. Laura knelt beside her, trying to keep her awake. "We made it. You're safe now." The woman shook her head weakly. "No, it's not over. They won't stop until they have me." Before Laura could respond, the building's lights flickered and went out. The oppressive darkness returned, and the whispers resumed, closer than ever. Laura realized with a sinking feeling that the shadows were not bound to the basement. They were part of the very fabric of the building. Desperation set in as Laura tried to think of a way to escape. She remembered the stories her colleagues had told about the call center being built on cursed land, but she had never believed them until now. The woman gasped, her eyes wide with terror. "It's too late. They're here." The shadows enveloped them, their cold, clammy hands pulling them into the void. Laura fought desperately, but the darkness was relentless. As she felt herself being dragged into the abyss, she heard the whispers grow louder, their words finally becoming clear. "Welcome home." The next morning, the call center was eerily silent. Laura's colleagues found her cubicle empty, her headset neatly placed on the desk. They searched the building, but there was no sign of her or the mysterious woman. The only clue was her flashlight, lying on the floor of the records room, its batteries drained.